You would be hard-pressed to find a city that loves and relies on its trains more than New York City. And there's one brand that is synonymous with trains, Lionel. Lionel Trains is celebrating its 115th anniversary, and they're bringing in their 115th birthday with some new technology, new trains, and even an app, all with the same quality and attention to detail that collectors and fans have come to expect. So let's stop by the Lionel train station to see what's new.
Ride on the train. Ride on the train. Ride on the train. Baby, don't look back. All right.
So let's start by talking about your newest line of trains. It's something that's totally new for Lionel, and it's coming out this year, and it's geared towards younger train fans. It's the Imagineering line.
Yeah, we're excited about the Imagineering shown behind us here. It's preschool aged, so really it's all about the kids' interaction. They're providing the power, they're moving things around, and they're interacting with the not only the track configuration, but also the little buildings that come with it. We've attached 4 of our best licenses to this, John Deere and Crayola, which were actually both new in 2014, as well as Batman, which is also new, and then the Polar Express, which has really been one of our best-selling classics for a long time with the Lionel line. So it's taking the sort of the preschool age products and really giving the kids something to interact with as they move from their excitement around trains and perhaps wooden trains into now plastic play.
So Lionel's been around for generations and generations, but you've actually recently made some updates to your technology and controls and even added a mobile app. So tell me what's new in the world of Lionel technology.
Yeah, we're 115 years old this year, which is a great celebration. There's not many companies that can sort of stake that claim. In the last 2 or 3 years, we have done a tremendous amount of technology updates. When you talk about our sets that sort of are the family-oriented type sets in our O gauge, we've added the Lion Chief control system. That is where we've separated power and speed control into 2 different features. So under the Transformer, the way that the trains have been sold for over 100 years, the amount of power or the throttle actually controlled the flow of power to the track, which controlled speed. Now with a DC power supply, the track always has power, so the train will sit on the track in a ready mode and sort of create train noises, but your speed control has been moved to a remote. And today kids want to play with remotes and interactive type things. So you've got enhanced sounds, remote control. It's a universal remote that'll go 60 feet out. It'll go through walls. I've actually taken them outside and interacted with the train on the inside. So really good sort of receiving of a radio frequency. In addition to that, we've launched Battle Train, which was an app on the iTunes store for iPad, which was just an interactive play experience with sort of trains on a mission, and it's sort of a shoot 'em up type game that really was designed to get kids interested in the brand. And we've added some control features for more of our hobby higher end set, which is the LCS, which is the layout control system, and also our iCab, which is a iPhone or iPod type of app, which gives you control of your train and allows you to operate the train through remote technology. So we're really trying to figure out how we connect today's modern technology with sort of our vintage classic play, and looking at that interaction of the physical and the digital space and how we bring that more to market, more to the mainstream.
So your company does a really good job of partnering with other brands that people love. You mentioned, Batman and Crayola. So what are the other, partnerships that you have coming out on the trains this year?
Well, we've got some really exciting stuff with MLB. We've done some team stuff, and then we've also looking at classic Coopertown vintage baseball teams. We've got Coca-Cola licenses where we've expanded that a little bit, and that's been a lot of fun. Polar continues to be a big story for us, and so we're building in accessories from the movie and sort of capitalizing on that whole trend. Friday the 13th, which doesn't seem sort of something you'd expect out of Lionel, but it is a Warner Brothers property, and we have a great relationship. Some of the Justice League, which is sort of the classic Batman, and some of the superheroes with Superman and Flash, and so that's been really exciting. We're doing a lot of those as part of our Made in the USA line, where we have 3 different types of rolling stock. We have a boxcar, a flat car, and a tanker car. And we can direct print on these really amazing graphics and sort of capitalize on some licenses even in like the food products and candies around Hershey's or around, Moon Pie, which is a new license that we've brought on, they don't really support a full train, but they are interest bases and passions of our consumers. And so it's a way to, really we try to connect affinity passions with the trains, and that's what makes the trains even more marketable.
Now, a lot of Lionel trains are based off of real trains. I saw you have a New York subway train.
Yes, we do.
So what do you do to sort of make the trains look as close to the real thing as possible?
Well, we actually have in our product team some train enthusiasts who are sort of almost historians. In fact, one of them actually worked at a train museum, and these guys know these trains in and out. And we really, especially when we get into our scale hobby high-end product, it's about exacting detail, and we really are truly scale model, 1 to 148 scale. When we get into sort of the sets and the all-family type product, there it's a balance of being authentic and providing that level of detail, but at the same time sort of appealing to different audiences through decoration. So on the Batman, where we have the Subway series, it's a graffitied up sort of Arkham-style Batman train with him and some of his arch nemesis characters, and really just an all-over graphic type of display. So we try to utilize the space to sort of tell the story when we're working with licenses and other properties like John Deere, which is a sort of green and yellow type of product. But when we look at the authentic side of it, and we do licenses with the likes of Amtrak or New Jersey Transit or some of the vintage lines, it's about research, and it's about going back and replicating what those trains look like when they really ran on tracks. And that's, I think, why a lot of the train enthusiasts who like the core trains really find Lionel appealing, because we are so exacting in our detail.
Now, a lot of people have really fond memories of setting up Lionel trains around their Christmas tree. Now, unfortunately, I never had one, so I didn't realize all of the cool things that they can do. They have, real steam and moving parts and sound effects, like you mentioned. So are there any new trains coming out with some of these realistic effects?
Absolutely, and the Lion Chief technology that I talked about earlier allows us to do some things even better. So we continuously improve our smoke units, which provide the smoke situation, which can be turned on and off. We now have a line of product called Lion Chief Plus, which actually gives you fan-driven smoke. And what that does is it creates a steady stream of smoke rather than a sort of like ringlets of smoke that sort of come out every time the engine will chuff, which is unique because it's timed to the chuffing. So the smoke release is actually part of the realistic, what your real train would have done. But we have a lot of enhanced sound technology. So for Frosty the Snowman, for instance, when the train is still, it has announcements that are taken from the movie or the film, the TV short that you see around the holidays. When you put it into motion, it plays Frosty the Snowman. So it sort of creates music, holiday music. We have other sort of generic Christmas lines that you have a music mode, or you have sort of traditional sound modes. So we've tried to build in all sorts of different type of things. When we can take noises or sounds out of licensed properties, that adds to the realism and the authenticity. But really sort of establishing Lionel as the finishing touch for under your tree is actually one of our huge initiatives this year. It is sort of the classic finishing touch, and so many people over generations remember running that train around the tree and it being part of their Christmas experience.
So we talked about some of the new trains, and you also have some old favorites that are coming back with new color schemes and new features. But do you have a favorite or a real showstopper from the new catalog that you just love?
I'd have to say, I think, if you talk about classic trains, probably my favorite is the Polar Express. And we did a 10th anniversary version of that last year, which was the 10th anniversary of the movie. And incorporated all of the great sounds and the Lion Chief technology. If you talk about new and sort of just cool things, and I'm not a Batman collector, but the Batman Subway series is really an absolutely stunning train when you look at the graphics and the detail that's been put into that, the little subtleties of the decoration, how it lights up, the doors open, and even the detailing inside. And then some of the expansion pieces to that. We have a 2-car pack, and we're working on a potential exclusive, and the art is just phenomenal. The artist did a great job.
Well, thank you so much, and happy birthday to Lionel.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Ride on the train.